Welcome to Friday night's video in our Master Series. This is the second Master Series, and this is the 7th video in our second Master Series. So tonight we're going to talk about audio analysis a little bit, because the first thing we're going to get into after this video is analyzing our analysis tools. So basically I wanted to put this video up to address something. Through all my studies, I have tons of notebooks, but I've tried to write something out that's like some audio analysis primary concerns. And in my analysis notebooks, I've got lots of notebooks. So this isn't the end all of dealing with audio analysis. But as we go through this, there's some things I want you to keep in mind for a couple of reasons. The first reason, to help you make some good notebooks, to help you have some things to keep in mind to further your studies. If you, hopefully you'll get into really, getting into, deeper DSP and studying of acoustics and sound, and it can kind of help you relate some of those things. And it's just, just like to wet your palate, before we actually get into some analysis, because it's going to cross the boundaries as we go through this whole second Master Series of how important analysis can be to really help you figure out what's going on, because there's a lot of heavy mathematics going on, and audio takes up tons of space. There's a reason why it takes up tons of space, and there's a reason why it uses a lot of heavy mathematics, because of how complex and complicated it is. So doing good analysis of things is very important to help take you to the next level, so that you can do things well, from analyzing things well and understanding what's going on. So basically, I'm just going to kind of read through this, so you can take a snapshot of this on your thing to look at it and get deeper into it. But audio analysis refers to the extraction of information and meaning from audio signals for analysis, classification, storage, retrieval, synthesis, etc. Simply, the analysis of audio is analyzing its harmonic content, sinusoids, even and odd harmonics, harmonic distortion, non-harmonic distortion, bandwidth, distortion content, noise content, modulation content, frequency and volume modulations, the sound envelopes, transients of the content, phase of the content, and how it changes over time, directly related to whether a waveform is periodic, aperiodic, semi-periodic, or quasi-periodic. And there's some videos on my channel about sound and waveforms. Secondary concern is the painter's palette, meaning simply, what do I get when I mix a square wave and a ramp wave? This can get really complicated, but what color do I get when I mix those two colors together? This is a huge topic and a fundamental conceptual foundation of creating sound, sculpting sounds, and mixing sounds. It's a huge part of it. It is as important as harmonies and chordal structures are to music, and being that sound is much more complicated than harmonies or chordal structures, it is a very in-depth topic for analysis, speculation, and experimentation. There's also a series on my audio engineering channel here about basic, fundamental music theory. You will find that I really suggest you watch that, because it is very integral in you understanding what's happening in audio engineering. The more you understand as far as music productions. So your understanding of basic, music theory is very fundamental in you becoming a good virtuoso master audio engineer. So I suggest you watch that series on basic music theory. It's going to help you immensely, because they are very closely related. Imagine that, when you're dealing with the music production. So it's very important that you understand basic music theory to make you and take you to the next level of becoming that virtuoso master audio engineer, mastering your understanding of basic music theory, and then it will make a lot of sense how it applies to audio engineering when working with music productions. Okay, so it's a huge topic. The third concern, is that it has a direct relation to the topic of phase issues. Can be how different sounds interact with each other and how they react with others over time. Because over time is a huge thing. The initial reaction, the reaction after a few seconds, the reaction over a long period of time, they can be different, and it's like with another simple example being intermodulation distortion. And there's a video on that that on my channel. That is caused from sinusoidal interaction at specific distances from each other in the frequency spectrum. Now, this is huge, and it's why I really wanted you to get into studying audio, DSP, sound, acoustics, music, all those things, because, things that interact with each other that you wouldn't think they would, like audio masking is just out of the, pulling something out of the hat is something you want to know about, bro, because it's going to eventually, it's affect your audio when you're doing certain things, so you might want to know about it to become, a virtuoso master audio engineer. So, in this second master series, we're really trying to take you up to the next level, to open up the door to see how you might want to study, a little bit more in depth some audio engineering topics that may be very much a concern when you are trying to take yourself to that virtuoso master audio engineer level. So another concern can be how different sounds react and interact with different effects and what that will do to their reaction and interaction with other sounds. An example being a flanger effect applied to a synthesizer font and its interaction with the Moog synthesizer on a different audio track during the mixing process. Anytime, besides just sound sculpting, as you mix things together, things happen and it changes the sound to where you don't have those two sounds as one sound. They interact and become this different waveform. So parts of them are affected differently because of them not just being separate sound forms or waveforms, but now they become a new waveform and a new sound that is going to incorporate different aspects of each other differently to create this different sound that you would think that just both those sounds are just going to be played at the same time. Well, it doesn't always exactly work that way. As they become mixed together, now they're one new sound. So aspects of them are gone. New aspects are created in the mixing of them, which can sound confusing, but it is very true, and it's something you really need to think about and explore, experiment, and research, so you begin to analyze those things well, and so that you do good work. And it should go without saying that the study of analysis of audio, of what any type of processing does to it, and whether that's equalization, compression, reverberation, delay effects like flangers, or effects like flangers and exotic effects that they come out with all the time with very unique and specific abilities of affecting sound, or any other process or processing, so that you can analyze that well, what's happening at different stages and different phases as you do different things throughout a production. Sample rates, bit resolution are other concerns when dealing with audio files and formats, especially when mastering. And analyzing that and understanding what the heck's going on is pretty important, so you're analyzing properly so that you can take correct steps to make things better or to fix things. It's goes without saying that is very important. Formats can be another huge topic that we talked about in the last master series during mastering, that I tried to make it as simple as possible without you having to go to Berkeley for 8 years to study audio engineering as it pertains to NASA so that you could get a mastered product done. But, I very much tried to skirt around a whole lot of things that are very important to just get you doing it, so you could really understand what's going to be mostly important without you having to dig that deep. But the better you understand all the things that are happening, the better job you're going to be able to do, because you'll be able to spot it, you'll be able to analyze and see what's happening, and you'll be able to make better decisions about what you do. So, that's a huge topic, and that plays a fundamental role in mastering audio and formatting it with codecs and containers. Codecs and containers, analyzing them and what they're doing, is another huge topic. What the heck is it doing to my audio so I can do a good job when mastering? Does that make sense? Formats in general. There are a lot of other factors and things to analyze as far as audio is concerned, but when dealing with audio and engineering as far as music productions are concerned, these are some of the primary topics of interest. Now, this is obviously not the end word of an audio analysis. This is like, just something to just keep in mind as you go through this second master series, because analysis of everything we do is analyzing audio so that we understand it better, we know what we're doing. That way, when we're trying to fix things, or we're trying to implement things, or we're trying to change things, or we're trying to process things, or edit things, or mix things, or master things, or anything, that the analysis of what's going on and being able to analyze properly, and being able to listen, analyze with our ears when we're listening, to analyze with our visualization tools and what we have available as tools in the DAW, to be able to do those things well, properly, correctly, and precise. So basically, the understanding here is, I basically I got rambling for a bit, so I cut the video where I stopped there and was going to finish up here because I got to rambling and the video ran out. I try to keep the videos under 15 minutes. So basically, the understanding here is this information. I just kind of wanted to go through this so you can understand how I see its importance, because it's to help you become as well informed an audio engineer as possible. The better you are, the better informed you are as an audio engineer, the better of an engineer that you can become. And that sounds funny, but it's very true. And without becoming, trying to take you to NASA, or Berkeley for 8 years, that, it's pretty important, if you really want to get your stuff to that next level. And audio analysis is one of the biggest things that can help get you there, so that you are well informed about what is happening as you do anything, no matter what you're doing in the studio, no matter what happens, or no matter what issues you run into, or problems, or anything, that you can analyze it and come up with an answer, a well-informed answer that you can understand. Because you can't fix things you can't understand, right? So, I mean, it makes it very difficult, and if you want to stick duct tape all over your production, go, I don't know what the problem was. You know what I'm saying? So, I just wanted you to understand how important it is in my point of view, and how much I think it will affect your productions, because the better you understand audio analysis, the better you will be able to produce good music, and that's just a given. And I think that it's very underrated sometimes, because a lot of people, I see videos and they don't really point out the importance of audio analysis, because people are trying to just listen to what they're doing and they're not really analyzing what's happening, so that they don't, they're trying to, have the ears of Chris Lord-Alge after years of, producing this type of music, and they're wondering why they don't hear it that well. And it's like, to try to get them there without spending that much time, or, get them heading in that direction anyway, that, and analyzing the audio and understanding what's happening, analyzing the processors, analyzing the DAW, analyzing it, period, that it can really help for them to understand why, when they watch some video of something happening and the guy's not pointing out all the, pulling out all his analysis tools to try to show you exactly what's happening. He's telling you, he's saying he's just hearing it, and you're not hearing it. It's like, so you're not taking the correct actions. And on top of it, you might do it a little differently than he is, which can cause confusion. Whereas if you analyze it, then you can make good informed decisions about how you would do it, because you are an informed audio engineer and know what you're looking at and know what's happening when you do certain things, because then you can reanalyze it after you've done things to see the changes that have happened with proper analysis and understanding what you're looking at. So, peace, hope, love. I hope you enjoyed this next video in our second master series, and I'll see you in the next video.